Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Ben here. All right, we are from Superior IT Solutions here, and today will be the training session of our software. All right, thank you very much, UUM, for supporting us here. All right, so let's proceed here for the training. So we go through this Superior TextCom icon here. Okay, so everyone in their computer, you will have this icon. Okay, for this Superior TextCom over here. All right, so. So let us log in. Okay, so for the login, right? All right, for the login over here, it is actually case sensitive. Okay, so remember, if let's say everything is in a small letter, so you key in a small letter. If everything is in capital letter, so you key in it in the capital letter here. So this is the case sensitive one. All right, I believe all of the lecturers here have their own user ID here already. Okay, so you may proceed to log into the software over here. Okay. All right, so this is our user interface for the software. Okay, so first thing here, we will go to this user profile. Okay, so the user profile here, as you can see, all right, just now I log in myself here. All right, I am the administrator of the software over here. Okay, so for the administrator, all right, for the administrator can control this user profile over here. Okay, so this administrator can create more users. All right, maybe in future there are new lecturers coming to the UUM. Okay, or maybe there are lecturers leaving the UUM as well. Okay, so you may change or you may add new user ID over here, no problem. Okay, I believe the admin ID, okay, given by Stephen, has given it to Dr. IRT over here. Okay, so Dr. IRT is having the admin ID. All right, so the admin ID over here can override the password. Okay, the admin ID can override the password. All right, can let's say like just now, Dr. Itawati messaged me. She told me that she forgotten her user ID and the password. Actually, Dr. IRT there is an ID with Dr. IRT that can log in there and then go to the user profile here and check what is the user ID and also the password for Dr. Itawati. Yeah. Okay, so you may as the admin. All right, so may actually go to the software here for the user profile to change the information here for the login details as well. Okay, so this is how the user here. Okay, Stephen has created one user ID for each of the lecturers here. Okay, as well as one user ID for all of the students. Okay, so for the all of the students here. All right, one moment here. Okay, so for all of the students here, I believe Stephen has already created like this. Okay, so the login name will be student, the password will be student as well. Okay, so this user ID you may let all of the students here to actually log into the software and then to use our software over here. Okay, and over here, all right, I believe all these here will be unticked here. Okay, I believe all these here will be unticked. Maybe the email feature or the WhatsApp feature is ticked for you. I'm not too sure how this settings are done by the Stephen here. All right. This one is the uncompleted the text file. All right. This one should not be ticked for the students here. Okay, because the students here, let's say they are having a project here using our software. All right. So if let's say they have done the key in of the information, okay, they can tick the text file to be completed. Okay, if let's say they found some error there, they want to do the amendment, they can untick the completed and then they can do the amendment again. All right, so this is for the uncompleted. Okay, so this one is actually not too, how to say, not so important here. Okay, because in the real world, okay, in the real world, because there are information that need to send to the clients, and then they need to make sure the information is how to say precise, accurate. All right, so there are some limitations here. So for the UUM here, I believe all these settings here is not so important here. So the most important one is for the student to log in. Okay, so all of the students will use the same user ID and also the same password here. Okay, not to worry, as our software here is unlimited users. Okay, so all and then the same user ID can log in into different computer here, no problem. Okay, so all of the students will use this standard student user ID and also the password for the student here to log into the software. Okay, so and then like let's say Dr. Idawati there just now forgotten her password and user ID. All right. So maybe Dr. Idawati there with the admin user ID and the password. Okay. So you may log into the software here, and then once you log into the software, search for Dr. Idawati user ID here. All right. Once you let's say for example like this audit for example. Okay. So let's say the login name is this. Okay. So maybe change the password to 1234 for example. All right, change the password to 1234. Then maybe after that, when you click save, when Dr. Idawati log into her user ID, okay, and also they key in the password here 1234. And then after that, okay, let's say I close this up, okay, and then after that, the Dr. Idawati, when you log into the software here, you can go to the settings, all right, and then change user password over here. Okay, you can change your own user password over here. You key in the old password, which is a 1234. If let's say Dr. IIT here set 1234 for you, and then you put in your own password over here. Okay, so remember it is case sensitive over here. Yeah? All right, it is case sensitive over here. Okay, so that is for the user profile over here. Okay, so this is for the user profile over here. All right, so this is the where you create the user ID, okay, and edit the user ID information. This is only accessible by the admin only, okay. This user profile is only accessible by the admin only, okay. So this is for the user profile over here. Okay, so if any of you, any of the lecturers here, okay, that wants to change their user password, you can go to the settings here and change the user password over here. The login ID, you cannot change it. The login ID can be changed by the admin only. Okay, only the admin is able to change the user ID for you. Okay, so you yourself here can only change the user password over here. Okay, so this is at the settings here. All right. Okay, another thing, let me talk a little bit about this checklist over here. Okay, so we have this checklist here. All right. For the like let's say for example, you want to record down, okay, when the student submitted this to you. Okay, maybe you can actually add in the submission date here. Okay, maybe you can add in the submission date over here. All right. So once you put in here, it will put in over here already. Okay, you key in on top here, it will put into this checklist for you here. Okay, so how does this checklist work here? All right, how does this checklist work here? Let's say the student here, they created the text profile. Okay, they created the text profile and then they key in the information inside. All right, let's say the Sendirian Berhad, for example. All right, let me search for one sample here. Okay, so once you created the text profile, right, then over here for create new personal text file, partnership text file, company text file, and also the LLP text file here. On top here, you can search for them, all right, which is the so-called client's information. All right, in the real world, this is the client, this is the actual client's information. Okay, this is for the sample, for example. So on top here, you can search it. All right, so for the one with the building is for the company, the one with the single person is for personal, the one with the 2% here is partnership, and also the one with the LLP wording here is for the LLP, okay, limited liability partnership. Okay. All right. So let's say I search for the clients here. I search for the text file. I select the text file, and the top right corner here. Okay, top right corner here. There's this checklist. Okay, there's this checklist here. You can go to the student's profile here. Okay, you can go to the student's text profile here because later on I will explain in more details because I will suggest the UUM lecturers here to let the students to create the text profile using their name. Okay. At the back here, they put in personal or partnership or Sendirian Berhad or LLP over here. Okay, meaning that the name and then the Sendirian Berhad LLP partnership over here. Later, I will explain in more details. Let me talk about the checklist over here first. All right. So the checklist I select here. Let me select one with lesser. One moment here. Okay. So the checklist is the top right corner here. You can click in the checklist here. Let's say today the student submitted the assignment to you. Okay. So once everything they completed, okay, they take the completed C over here. Okay, they take here completed C and then you can submit it to you. So you can put in a submission date. All right. So one moment, submission date. All right. Wait, I think I haven't saved the checklist here. All right, I didn't save the checklist just now. Submission date. All right, let's save here. Okay, so checklist here. Select here submission date. All right, so submission date here. All right, so let's say today is the submission date. You put in the date today. All right, so over here you see submission date. You click save. All right, so how can you check for the students here? All right, how can you check for the information for the students here? All right, so let's say we go to the report, master listing here. Okay, so let's say for company, we go to C, all right, or LLP, all right. For the personal and the partnership, we go to B, BE, M, and P over here. Okay, so let's say this just now I add in here is for the Sendram Berhad. We go to the master listing here. All right, for the C. Okay, so I search for the clients, the student name here, for example. Okay, and then just now ABC 111 Sendram Berhad. Just now I key in the information here. All right, I can click here for the show column selector. Okay, I can click here for the show column selector. I can search for the submission date over here. All right, all of the checklists that you add in here, you can click this show column selector, and then it will come out this customization bar. You search for this submission date. All right, so if you want to see when is the submission date, you can drag it out over here. Okay, so as you can see, the submission date, okay, dated today, all right, because just now I key in the today's date already. Okay, so the submission date dated today here, it will show over here for you. Okay, so as lecturer, when you want to when you have done the marking, all right, maybe you put a marking over here. All right, or anything you want to see first, okay, for all these checklists, anything you want to see first, you can drag it in front. Okay, if not, you can drag it back behind over here. Okay, so as you can see here, there's a CP204, there's an e-filing over here. All these are actually the real world practices. Okay, so we actually key in all this information for the training for the corporate world here. Okay, so maybe for the UUM side, you can key in the submission date, key in the marking date. All right, and then maybe if you want to when you have done the everything here, all right, whatever dates that you want to put in here, you can actually add in at the checklist over here. All right, so these are the checklists here. Okay, so for the importance one, okay, will be for the user profile. User profile, it will be accessible by the admin only, and also this checklist over here. All right, maybe all of the lecturer you all can discuss together. All right, what are the checklists that you guys need? So when you want to refer anything here, you can actually refer to all the submission date, the marking date, everything here. Maybe it will be easier for you all as the lecturers here. Okay, so. This is for the checklist, and then for the master listing here, for you to see what is the let's say all these are the students' name. Okay, students' name with Sendram Berhad, with the partnership with the LLP or with the personal over here. Okay, so here is how you key in all this information here. Okay, how you check the information, like the submission date. So today they already submitted this assignment. Okay, you can key in the submission date over here. All right, so this is for the submission date here. Okay, so this is for the master listing and also the checklist over here. Okay, is tools, okay, for lecturers here to utilize. Okay, to see when you guys how you guys can utilize this thing over here. No problem. Okay, so that is for the settings here. All right, give me a moment here. All right, so after that, okay, after that for the students, okay, for the student to do the assignment, for example, okay, I would suggest this one as the assignment over here, okay, for using our software here. Because how to say, let me show here. Let's say I have this sample individual here. Okay, let's say I have a sample individual over here, for example. All right, so I have all this information for these taxpayers over here. All right, just a simple information, just a brief one. Okay, just a brief one over here. Okay, one moment. Let me change something here. All right, so just a simple one over here. Okay, so let's say for the students, okay, to actually do all these assignment here, because in our software, right? In our software, most of the calculation, Okay, most of the calculation is actually automated already. Okay, in our software here, most of the calculation is actually automated already. All right. So if let's say lecturers here, they want to test the students with the calculation, it is pretty impossible in our software here because the calculation here is already, how to say, all automated. All right. In our software, all right, let me walk through you how our software works here. Okay. In the corporate world, our software here will help aiding the tax agents daily work. Okay. Where the tax agent here, they only need to fill up the information here accordingly. Okay, where they only need to fill up the information here accordingly. Once they fill out all this information here, all the business income schedule, all of the tax computation, all of the capital allowance calculation, all of this calculation, it will be automatically calculated out already. Okay, so there's actually no need of the calculation in our software here. Maybe some of the items here, they will need a little bit of calculation, but mostly, all right, what is in our software here is that because in the corporate world, okay, the taxpayers, they need to submit for the companies, they need to submit for Form C. For the individual, they need to submit Form B or Form BE, all right, or maybe for foreigner Form M. For partnership, they need to submit for the Form P. For the LLP, they will need to submit the Form PT here. Okay, so whatever is required as the information in our software here, okay, it is actually to fill up all these forms here. Okay, so our software here actually is aiding the corporate world to actually put in all this information here. So maybe if the UUM lecturers here feels that you all want the students to maybe to learn more about the corporate world, so maybe this would be a good thing for assignment here, or maybe a group project here. Okay, so maybe if for the how to say, for the exams, all right, for the exam, it might be a little bit difficult here because there is no calculation needed here. Okay, the students just need to know how to key in all this information into the software here only. All right, so they just need to know how to key in all of this information into the software here only. All right, so let us start here from scratch, from zero. Okay, so one moment, let me close everything here. And then, all right. So let's say I have a sample of the taxpayers information here. Okay, so individual A, okay, this is actually myself, all these fake number, fake information here. Okay, so I have all this information here. All right, so spouse information, all of it over here. All right, and then let's say children information. All right, just a simple children information here, and then the partnership income over here, for example. Okay, partnership information over here, for example. Okay, and then all of these asset purchase, all right, date of purchase here, for example. Okay, and also the reliefs over here. All right, and then the yearly salary, just a very simple information here. Okay, so how do the students here create the information into the software? Okay, so for all this information, the students will need to create over here. Okay, so let's say, for example, like the lecturers here, they you guys want to let the student to calculate the personal tax file and also for partnership tax file. Okay, let's say this person here is working and also he has a partnership here. All right, so you can see here all this information over here, the partnership information here, and then the salary information here, for example. Okay, so how the students can create this information into our software. Okay, so they need to go to the bottom here and create the tax file. Okay, so the single person here will be the personal tax file, and then the two person here will be the partnership tax file. The building here will be for the company tax file, and then also the LLP tax file over here. Okay, so these are all types of the tax file in our software. Okay, so for our software here, we cater for Form B, Form BE, Form C, Form M, Form P, Form PT here. All right, so these are the forms that we can that we cater. These are all of the corporate real world tax file that is used in general. All right. So for this personal information, I click here to create the personal information. Okay. Over here, you can select the text here. All right. Let's say you want the student to calculate the tax year. Okay, let me brief you a little bit more about the tax year here. Okay, selecting the tax year here, meaning that the tax rate, okay, already included for you. Okay, because the calculation, everything is all automated. Okay, so the tax rate here is already included for you. So the students don't even need to remember what is the tax rate. Okay, so because it's all built in into the software here already. Okay, so this is where the tax rate. Let's say I create for tax year 2022, for example. Okay, for tax year 2022, I want to do the tax calculation for tax year 2022 here. Click OK. All right, it will bring you to this personal information here with the empty one. Okay, so all over here, you will need to key in all this information. All right, so key in the taxpayer's information. All right, which is my my name over here, and then the IC number here. All right, key in the IC number. All right. Okay, so when you key in the first 6 number here, the system will automatically recognize the date of birth for you already. Okay, and then the tax reference number. All right, so the tax reference number over here, so you can key in the number here. All right, so let's say I copy and paste the number over here. All right, one moment, I can copy and paste here. All right, so it's actually only numbers here. All right, we can't key in the all these bracket and also the hyphen over here. Okay, so there's only numbers over here. All right, so this is the numbers only. All right, if let's say the person here is a disabled person. Okay, so if let's say the person here is a disabled person, you take it over here. So for disabled person, like the relief, there is a special relief for the disabled person. All right, the students don't even need to remember. Okay, what is the disabled relief? How much is the disabled relief? Okay, because in our software here, it is automatically recognized already once you take this disabled over here. Okay, so whether it's a disabled person. Okay, and then over here. All right, let's say this person is married. All right, just now this person here is married. Okay. However, I don't need to put in married over here first. Okay, I create the husband. Let's say the husband and wife together. Okay, I create the husband tax file first. Okay, I create the husband tax file first. I just key in all this information here. All right, so email. Okay, handphone number, everything here. All right. And then over here, all these are actually the real world one, the IRB branches, because the tax submission will require the IRB branches associated with the clients. Okay, so for UUM site, maybe just leave it blank here, no problem. Okay, maybe just leave it blank here. All right, contact info, any special additional contact info you can add in over here. All right, address information. Okay, so for the address information here, correspondent address. All right, can key in the correspondent address here. So in the postcode. All right, residential address. All right, residential address. Let's say it's the same. Okay, let's say it's the same. You can actually. So sorry. Okay, let's say it's the same. You just key in the same one. Okay, permanent address in origin country. If let's say is a permanent resident, is a foreign worker here. Yep. Okay, correspondence and residential address. Bank address. All right, name of the bank. Okay, select the name of the bank over here. Okay, so in the corporate world, this one is to refund the tax return. Okay, so this one, all these bank account number put in here accordingly. All right, so bank address, key in the bank address here. All right. Okay, so there's this method of payment for tax refund. So this one can just leave it blank as well, no problem. Okay, next one, employer. Okay, so if let's say the person here is working. All right, if let's say the person here is working. Okay, so if let's say has salary, has a employer's information, for example, okay, you may add in the employer's information over here. Okay, you may add in the employer's information here. Let me show you an example. Click add here. All right, what is the name of employer? Okay, let's say I'm working here under Superior IT Solutions, for example. Okay, so what is the employer's number, staff number or payroll number? All right, and then update over here. Okay, so this is if let's say this person here is working under any company here. All right, so under any company. For spouse information, okay, I leave it blank first. Okay, because here I put single first, I just leave it blank first. For business, okay, for business here, if let's say, okay, if let's say the person here is having a business sole proprietorship, for example, okay, you can add in over here. All right, so over here, let's say Yan sole proprietorship. Okay, so key in all of these registration number here. Okay, address information. All right, employer's number, all everything over here. Click update. All right, and then for the system partnership, I will explain to you later on. Okay, I will explain to you later on for this. Okay, and then for the Form E. Okay, so for the Form E, this one you can maybe the lecturers can the UUM here can ignore this for the Form E because this one is for the Form E submission. I believe for the Form E in the syllabus is. I'm not sure whether you guys have this syllabus in the Form E, so actually this one can just leave it be. Okay, so or maybe after that, if let's say you need to do the Form E here, all right. So maybe for the assignment purpose, okay, can add in some situations here where you need to do the Form E for the clients. All right, you may add in the employees the staff information for this sole proprietorship. Okay, may add in the staff information for this sole proprietorship here. Okay, so let's say staff A. All right, so what are all these number here? All right, just key in here and then just click update over here. Okay, so all these information here. All right, and the category of the employee, whether have spouse relief, child relief, already left Malaysia, or tax exempted allowance or something over here, you just take it over here, no problem. Okay, and then period of employment. Okay, you can put in the date of commencement and the date of cessation over here as well, no problem. All right, just click update here. Okay, so this is for the how you create the personal text file in the software here. Okay, so for example, okay, for the students, right? Okay, for the students who create the text file, let's say they are doing assignment. Okay, for example, let's say doing assignment here. So the students here, they put in their name. Okay, so maybe at the end here, put in personal. Okay, so put in their name, maybe put in the personal. If the one just the name, okay, may do so as well. Okay, so just put in the name here and then click save. One moment. No business code. Oh, so for the business here, all right, for the business here, we'll need to add in the business code as well. Okay, we'll need to add in the business code here. This business code will be the MSIC code. Okay, so this MSIC code is actually the practice in the real world. Okay, where the LHDN here, they are separated by the business by all this code over here. Okay, so just select whichever business code over here, for example. Okay, so the lecturers may refer the business code over here. All of this business code is actually listed in the IRB listing. Okay, so can select it over here. For example, let's say pet care services. Click save, and then I click save over here. So this personal information already created. Okay, so this is the personal information created over here. All right, so let's say just now this person here has a spouse, but I put in as a single person here first. Okay, let's say there's a husband and wife. Okay, when I created the first profile, either husband and wife. Okay, the first one I put him or her as single first. Okay, the first profile here I put him or her as single first. For the second profile that I create, when I want to create the spouse profile here, okay, I click here for the create new personal, same thing, text here 2022. All right. So refer to here, let's say I create this spouse information here, Chong Yi, for example. Okay. And then I put in all this information here accordingly. Okay, I put in here. All right, so once you put in the 6 number here, the date of birth will put in for you, and then following the last number of the IC here, it will automatically select the male or female here for you. Okay, and then for the spouse info, I put in married here. Okay, all these are the same now. For example, okay, just now I've shown the lecturers here how to key in all this information. Okay, so after that, all right, create the text file using. All right, after that, go to the spouse information here. Okay, so spouse information here. Okay, you already created the husband information into the software. Okay, you already created the husband information into the software. You can go to the system here. You click the 3 dot button here, and then you select the husband over here. Okay, and then click save. All right, so this is how you can create the husband and wife text file together without doing the double job here. Okay, so when I go back, when I search the person here for the Yan Xiaobin just now, all right, which is myself. Okay, when I go to the personal info here, just now remember I put him as single, now automatically changed to married already. Okay, so all right, as mentioned by Rachel, it is better for the students here to create their own name over here. Okay, so to create their own name over here, let's say just now my name here. For the spouse information, all right, for the spouse information, better to put in the spouse at the back over here. Okay, or maybe for the spouse information, apostrophe S, spouse over here. Okay, so this is for the students project, for example. Okay, so later on when I explain more about our software here, when we go deeper into our software here, maybe lecturer will understand why I would suggest this as the assignment over here instead of the exam over here. All right, so so this is how you create the personal information. Okay, better to use the student's own name, okay, for this person here and also the spouse information here. All right, so better to do it this way. All right, so the text file here, you can create as many as you like because our software here is unlimited clients, okay, which means you can create as many text file as you like, no problem. Okay, so maybe for partnership, when I click here, create for partnership, right? Okay, I put in here, all right, my name, okay, and then at the end here, partnership. Okay, so it's better like this. All right, and then for the company, create new company here, for example. So over here, I put in Yan Xiaobin, okay, and then Berhad. All right, so everything is the name, okay, everything in front here, name, all right, and then add in Sandhiran Berhad, add in partnership, add in personal, add in spouse, okay. So better to do it this way, easier for lecturers here to actually check their students' work in the end over here. Okay, easier for you all to check the work over here, no problem. All right, so this is how you create the text file over here. So once you create the text file, okay, on top here, you can search for the text file. All right, so let's say the students here log out already. Okay, let's say they log out already, for example. All right, log out already, and then when they log in back to the software, they will need to search back that text file here. Okay, so they will need to search back the text file here. So for the text file, so for each of the students over here, it is better to put in the password protection over here. Okay, put in the password in the password protection here. Okay, because all right, I need to put in the password here. Let's say I put in the password over here. All right, I click save. Okay, because in our software, all right, we are using the same ID. Okay, and actually all of the users in the software can access to all of the information in the software. Okay, so if the student here didn't put in the password protection over here for themselves, for their own file, okay, then when the other students here, they go into this software, they search for their friend's name. All right, let's say I'm another person now, I search for the friend's name, which is this one Yan just now. All right, I can go inside here. I can disrupt all his information inside over here. I can change all of the information over here that he already keyed in before. Okay, so all this information can be changed if, let's say, didn't put in a password protection over here. Okay, so the password protection, let's say I log into another person here. One moment. Okay, so let's say I log into another user here. All right, so let's say this is students. All right, sorry, I log in a students one, for example. All right, I log in a student here. So as a student, I log into the software. Okay, I search for the Yen profile just now. Okay, so when already put in a password protection, okay, when this is another person, they want to log into this is not this person. Okay, so another person. Okay, let's say Rachel log into the software here. All right, so she wants to know what is the information this person here key in already. All right, so when she double click the name over here, all right, she will need to key in the password, okay, that is set at the password protection over here. Okay, that is set at the password protection over here. Okay, so this password over here. Okay, so if she has the password, she can key in, which means if, let's say, because you need to tell the student, don't simply share the password. I mean, do not share the password at all. Okay, because this is for the assignment they are grading here. All right, do not share the password at all. So only the student themselves with their own password can key in over here and then log into the information here. Okay, so as you can see here, when I search the text file here, if I didn't key in the password, I can still search for the name, of course. I can still search for the name, just that when I want to go in here to see what is the information inside, I need to key in the password over here. If, let's say, this file is password protected. Okay, let's say I search for another person, let's say Banner, didn't put in any password protection here. When I double click inside, I can simply already go into the this person file over here, and then I can change all of this information here already. Okay, all this information, I can disrupt it over here. Okay, I can disrupt it over here. That's why it is important. Okay, it is very important for the students to key in the password protection over here. Okay, so as the lecturer, all right, as the lecturer, later on for the next semester, all right, Steven maybe will change for the lecturers here. Okay, so as the admin, okay, because admin, all right, because admin doesn't need to have this password. Okay, you see here, I already put in the password protection over here. All right, so let me log into my ID again just now. Okay, so I log in here, Ben. Okay, so this Ben is the admin, for example. Okay, when I want to mark the student's assignment, search for his assignment over here, his name over here. And then you remember this one just now as another user, when I double click the information here, I need to put in a password here. So over here, when I double click as the admin, I don't even need to put in a password. I can directly access the file already. Okay, so for the next semester, all right, which lecturer are handling this text over here? Okay, and then for all of the students that have this using this software as the assignment here, so Steven will change the lecturer's user ID to admin. Okay, and then the admin here, the lecturers here can actually access all these assignment here for all of the students here already. Okay, so only the student themselves with the password, okay, and also the admin, okay, which is the lecturers, okay, can access to this text file and also change the information inside. All right, so there are only two possible ways, okay, to do so. All right, unless the student go and share the password to their friends here, and then their friends go in to disrupt the information inside. Okay, that is another story lah. All right, so if not, there is only two possible ways to do this over here. All right, So this is how you create the text file, including the password protection over here. All right, including the password protection over here already. Okay, so this is for the text information here. All right, so after creating the text profile here, all right, after creating the text profile here, I need to key in all of this information over here. Okay, I need to key in all of this information over here. So how can I do so? Okay, so on the left hand side, okay, on the left hand side, there are all of these tab over here and also all of the buttons over here. Okay, so all this here is how where the students, okay, all this here is where the students to key in the information here. Okay, all these here are where the student key in the information here. Let's say I go to the business here. All right, so this business, I have a sole proprietorship here. Okay, which is the business category here is under this code. Okay, for this pet care services, for example. All right, so I did not create this sole prop information here. So sorry, give me a minute. All right, I did not create the sole proprietorship information in the sample over here. Let me just walk briefly over here. Okay, as I mentioned, all this information here, all this business, employment, okay, and then this business here, okay, all the dividend button here, dividend, rental, royalty, interest, other income, okay, all these sections are actually under the business, okay. For the non-business dividend, non-business interest, non-business rental, non-business royalty, non-business other income, you click the buttons outside here to key in the information. Okay, for the business here, everything is under the business. Okay, everything is under the business. All right, so just key in all this information here accordingly. All of this information are all these sources of income, deductions, all right, tax payable and payments, all right, and also all these other information here. Okay, all this information is actually required by the form over here. Okay, for the personal info here, you can okay, so why do I say that this is not suitable for exam? All right, because over here, all right, in the syllabus, I believe students here need to identify, okay, whether the taxpayer here they are submitting form BE or form B. Okay, so over here you can directly select the form BE or form B here. Okay, so if let's say I select form BE, I click save. I have a sole proprietorship here. Okay, so I have key in all this information here for sole proprietorship, for example. I key in the information here, I click save, right? When I want to generate the form BE, okay, the system will tell me that I have a form B information, which is this sole proprietorship. All right, so I need to go back here. All right, I need to go back here and then change this into the form B over here and click save. Okay, so our software here, there are some indicator here to tell you which form this client should be submitting. Okay, instead of the generating the wrong one over here. Okay, so this is our software here. All right, so that's why I mentioned it is more suitable for the assignment purpose instead of the exam purpose over here. Okay, but it all depends on the syllabus of the UUM over here. Okay, so because our software here, as I mentioned, is designed, all right, for the corporate world, okay, for the real corporate world to do the tax submission here. All right. So let's go to the business here. I key in all of this information. Okay, so key in all this information here accordingly. Okay, so for the sources of income here, the first one is the business. All right, so just key in all this information here. Let's say the lecturer here, they give the assignment here to the students. Okay, they give the assignment here to the students here. And then all they need to do is just key in the information here accordingly will do. Okay, let's say the dividend income, all right, how much dividend income received. All right, so let's say business dividend income. I click add here, as you can see, business dividend income. When I click here, all right, this business receives dividend income from who? Okay, so let's say I receive from ABC Berhad, for example. Okay, what is the warrant number here? And then how much is the gross dividend amount over here? when is the payment date, just key in the information here and then click save will do. All right, and then click save will do. Okay, for the single tier, same thing, just add in the information accordingly will do. Okay, and then over here, okay, there's this allowable expenditure. Okay, if let's say, all right, if let's say this taxpayer here incurred, okay, any expenditure in arriving this business dividend income, all right, they can key in the allowable expenditure over here. Okay, click here, allowable expenditure. All right, let's say management fee, for example. Okay, let's say I put in 2,000 over here and then I click update. That's all. Okay, so this is how the students can add in the information over here. All right. Next one, rental income. Okay, business rental income. I click here at rental, click add. All right. So what are the property type? Okay, so what is the property type? In our software, already have a list of the property type here. Okay, so can select accordingly. Okay, if the property type here doesn't have the name that the students want, actually the students can add in the name here by clicking the blank paper button here. Okay, so let's say property. All right, any let's say special property, for example. All right, and then click save here. And then after that, you can select the special property over here already. Okay, just key in the address information. All right, just key in the address information. And then what is the total rental received for the year? Okay, what is the total rental received for the year over here? Okay, and let's say the total rental here, let's say 15,000, for example. And then the expenditure incurred for this rental income, click the three dot button here. All right, so click add over here, and then the expenditure over here. Let's say agency fee, let's say I'm promoting through the agency, okay, the agent. Okay, what is the agency fee? Let's say 1,000, for example, and then click enter here. See. Okay, so over here, this transfer to taxcom. Okay, this transfer to taxcom, whether these expenses need to add back here. Okay, so in the corporate world, they use these add back terms. Okay, so whether these expenses need to add back over here. Okay, so if you take here for the transfer to taxcom, by default the expenses here for this agency fee, it will be automatically transferred to taxcom for add back. Okay, because these expenses is not related to this. One moment, let me close this here. Because the expenses I keyed just now is not related to this pet care services. All right, it is related to this rental income here. Okay, so that's why by default the system already take it for you to add it back for these expenses here. All right, so that's why I mentioned it is not really suitable for the exam over here because a lot of things here is already automated. Okay, it's already automated here. All right, so this is how you add in the information here. So let's say if this person, okay, or this sole proprietorship didn't own this property fully, you may change the ownership over here. All right, you may change the ownership over here. Let's say this one, this person here own 80% only. All right, and then add in owned by another person, let's say by the spouse, for example. All right, another 20% here, and then just click update. All right, so this one 80%, update here. All right, so this one will need to be 100%. Make sure need to be 100% and then close it over here. Okay, so here is 100%, but when you close it, it show 80% ownership here because this person Yan here. All right, so it's owning 80% only. Okay, and then click save over here. All right, close it. Next one, royalty income. Okay, if let's say this taxpayer here are receiving any royalty income, all right, they need to click the three dot button over here and then key in the information accordingly. So whenever the there's a three dot button here, any users here can click inside and then key in the information accordingly. Okay, so this is how it is added into the software here. All right, next one, interest. Okay, so for the interest here, you click the three dot button here and then key in the information accordingly. Okay, interest received, for example. Okay, so FD interest. All right, FD interest. All right, what is the amount over here? Okay. And then close it over here. All right, and then for section 4A, other income, same thing, just click the three dot button here, key in the information here, accordingly you will do. All right, so this is how to key in all this information here. So whenever the bracket here is white in color, okay, whenever the bracket here is white in color, can key in the information here directly. Okay, let's say the bracket is gray in color. Okay, let's say the bracket here is gray in color. Right, cannot key in the information here directly, then we'll need to click the buttons beside to key in the information here. Okay, so this is how to key in all this information here. All right, let's say click save here. All right, so for all this information here, you key in, you need to click save over here. All right, and then over here, there is an adjustment of losses. All right, there's an adjustment of losses. All right, so for example, this sole proprietorship. Okay, for example, maybe the lecturer here can set the question this way. All right, this sole proprietorship here. Okay, he is running the businesses since year 2020. Okay, however, this is for tax year 2022. Okay, however, this is for tax year 2022 here. All right, let's say this business here have losses from previous year. You can key in here adjustment of losses. All right, can key in here adjustment of losses. All right, and then previous year losses brought forward. You click the three dot button here. You can key in the previous year losses brought forward over here. Okay, so let's say the previous year, the first year here lost 10,000. So put in 10,000 and then the balance here 10,000. All right, and then for the year 2021, okay, there's a 15,000 losses, right? And then brought forward how many added up together will be 25,000, for example. Okay, so add up together 25,000 here, and then click. One moment. Oh, sorry. So it's still 15,000. Okay, so I need to balance over here. All right, and then click save here. All right, and then click save. Okay, so maybe the lecturers here can set the questions. All right, so let's say this sole proprietorship already running their businesses since 2020. Okay, however, you need to do the calculation here to key in the information in the software here for tax year 2022. Okay, so this is for the losses here. For the losses, okay, for the losses, all right, so the students only need to key in, all right, for the first year only. Okay, for the first year only. Let's say, okay, let's say for tax year 2022 already done. Okay, when the students here, they click for create the tax year 2023 file. Okay, the system will automatically brought forward the losses for this year to the next year for you. Okay, so that's why, okay, as I mentioned, okay, it is pretty automated in our software already. Like for example, the losses here, the system will automatically brought forward the losses to the next year if there is any losses this year. Okay, so because as I mentioned in our software here is designed for corporate world over here. All right, for the submission of the tax. Okay, next one, DE. Okay, section DE here, adjustment of business income. Okay, first one, total non-allowable losses. Click the three dot button here, just click add and then select it over here. Okay, so we have the losses on disposal, foreign exchange loss, loss from investment here. Okay, so as you can see, all of these items here are named already. Okay, and then just key in the information here accordingly only. All right, non-taxable gain, just click the three dot button. Just now is loss, now will be the gain. Profit on disposal, foreign exchange gain, profit from investment over here. And then for the taxable gain over here, click add will be for the gain on disposal, gain on sales, everything over here. All right, so this is the information over here. All right, next one here, FGH. Okay, first one for the F, section F, adjustment of business expenditure. All right, for interest restriction, okay, for interest restriction, the bracket here, okay, is white color. You can key in the information here. All right, and then there is also a public ruling here for the interest restriction. Okay, you can directly open it over here. Okay, so you can see what is the public ruling over here already. Okay, this is for the real world practice as well. All right, one moment. All right, so you can also click on the three dot button at the back here. Okay, to key in the information here for the interest restriction here. Okay, so as you can see, if I key in the information here, the system will automatically calculate the interest restriction for me already. Okay, so for this one, I can do it for year-end basis or month-end basis here. Okay, so for example, for month-end basis, I click add. All right, for example, I have investment A. Okay, so how is this income generated here? Okay, you can select it over here. All right, if not, you can put it none as well. Sorry, can put in none as well. Okay, and then can put in the investment by month over here. Right, if the investment by month, okay, is the same every month, for example, can set all figure to the same amount. All right, let's say 5,000 every month. Okay, from month 1 to month 12 here. All right, because for the first year of the let's say for September, okay, for the first year here can allow up to 18 months. All right, so actually can put in the information up to 18 months over here. Okay, so for the investment by month, put in 5,000 over here. Okay, so set all figure to the same amount. All right, then the system will put in the amount for you automatically already, and then click save here. Okay, borrowing and interest expenses, same thing, just click add. All right, let's say borrowing A. Right, borrowing every month is the same. Let's say I put in 1,000 every month. Click save here. Every month here will be the same already. All right. For the interest expenses, usually every month will be the okay. So let's say 500, right? Let's say here 488, right? So 467. All right. Just key in all of this information here accordingly. All right, and then click save over here. Okay. So as you can see, once I added in all this information here, the system will automatically calculate the interest restriction for the section 33 bracket 2 over here automatically. All right. So in this software here, the students only need to find out where should they key in all this information here. Okay. So maybe with this all this information here, the lecturer can set up how the UUM can utilize our software over here as the medium for the education over here. All right. So all this calculation, all right, as I mentioned, is all automated. Okay. So just key in all this information accordingly. The system will do the calculation automatically here. All right. So next one here, non-allowable expenditure and charges. Okay. Non-allowable expenditure and charges here just now is the one that I mentioned for the add back of the expenses over here. Okay. For the add back of the expenses over here. Okay. So click the three dot button here. All right. So as you can see here, there are other expenditure here. All right. Remember just now for the dividend income, I have keyed in a 2,000 expenses for the management fee. Okay. And then for the rental income just now, I have keyed in a 1,000 agency fee just now. However, this person here is only owning the 80% of the rental there. Okay, owning 80% of the property. So that's why 1,000 80% will be 800 over here. Okay, so these two expenses are not the expenses under the pet care services here. So our system by default, okay, it will automatically add back for you here already. Okay, it will automatically add back for you here. All right, so here is where you add in the add back of the expenses over here. Okay. However, there is another section related to this add back of the expenses here, which is the analysis of account. Okay, which is the analysis of account. All right. I believe in the education or the in the syllabus here, I don't think there is any analysis account If let's say I'm mistaken, please correct me. All right, I believe there is no analysis account in the syllabus here. All right, or the any of the education here. Okay, so this is the real world practices for the analysis account. All right, so for the add back of the expenses, all right, the students can click here to add in the add back of the expenses over here. Okay, so for example, like depreciation. Okay, I click the three dot button here. I search for depreciation. All right, so let's say depreciation of the asset. All right, how much is the depreciation? I put in over here. Okay, let's say 100%. Okay, and then I just click update over here. All right. Or for example, add in, for example, entertainment. Okay, so entertainment here. So let's say entertainment and food, for example. Okay, and then how much will be the entertainment here? Let's say 2,000. So entertainment, there are some percentage of add back. All right, for example, 50%. Okay, or maybe 1/3. Right, for 1/3, need to put in 33.33% over here. Okay, so there are actually total 4 digit over here only. All right, so or maybe sorry, 2 decimal point only. All right, maximum 2 decimal point only. So for 1/3, put in 33.33% over here. All right, so for 50% or 1/3, students need to decide themselves. All right, they need to know the public ruling themselves, of course. Okay, they need to know what is the IRB ruling for this. Okay, and then they put it over here. So this is the only how to say, the only thing that the student need to put in themselves. Okay, because in our software here we do not have what is the percentage of the add back for this one, because in the real world practice, all right, because of the definition will be different. Okay, because definition will be very different. All right, so the students here, they will need to put in this percentage themselves, and then they click update over here. Okay, so just now 2,000, put in 50%, there will be 1,000 over here. Okay, so let me close this, and then I show you here for the analysis account. Okay, so in the real world, there is this analysis account. All right, so where the need to put in the expenses here for analysis purposes. Okay, so if let's say the UUM syllabus here have the teaching of this analysis account. All right, so maybe you can utilize this as well. All right, let me show you briefly here. Okay, I click here. All right, let's say for example entertainment. Okay, in the real practice world, okay, these entertainment expenses need to add in this analysis account over here. All right, so need to put in the details here. So what is this entertainment about? All right, let's say dinner with client. Okay, at which restaurant? Okay, so maybe with who? Right, in the amount here. Right, for add back. Okay, if this this entertainment expenses need to add back. Okay, like how I key in there just now for this non-allowable expenditure and charges. Okay, I need to take this disallow here. Okay, and then how much is the add back here? Let's say 50% or 1/3. Let's say 1/3, 33.33%. Click update over here, and then let's say I close it here. I go back to the non-allowable expenditure and charges here. You can see here the entertainment automatically add back for me over here already. And then you can see there's a tick over here. This is transfer from analysis of account over here. Okay, so this analysis account and the non-allowable expenditure and charges here are interrelated a little bit. Okay, so whatever over at the analysis account here, you take here for disallow, it will automatically transfer to the tax count, which is to this non-allowable expenditure and charges over here. All right. So let's say I add in a few more expenses. For example, fire insurance. Okay, for business, I need to purchase fire insurance here. Okay, so let's say MSIG policy number. Right. So it's the MSIG policy number here. Put in the policy number. Put in the amount here. Okay. For fire insurance in the corporate world, in the real corporate world, these expenses doesn't need to add back. All right, because this is the allowable expenses for the business. Okay, allowable expenses for the business. For the expenses that doesn't need to add back, don't need to take the disallow over here. Just click update accordingly. Okay, add in another one, let's say road tax. Okay, let's say this taxpayer here purchased a Toyota Camry. All right, and then what is the how much is the road tax here? For the road tax, also the allowable expenses. Okay, so just don't need to take disallow here, just click update over here. Okay, so this is the differences of the allowable expenses, okay, and also the non-allowable expenses here. For non-allowable, you need to take here disallow, okay, and then the system will add back for you over here already, okay. In the real practice world, okay, for this section, non-allowable expenditure and charges, these are for the expenses that doesn't need to do the analysis account, okay. These are for the expenses that doesn't need to do the analysis account. And then, however, you need to add back the expenses, you need to add in directly over here, okay. For all the other expenses that need to do the analysis account, everything needs to key in over here at the analysis account here already.
Ben.
Yeah.
Is it the analysis account you just we just insert back whatever item in the P&L?
Okay. Not to say whatever item. All right. Some of the items you need to do analysis in the real world. Okay. Some of the item, like for example, the depreciation. So usually in the P&L account, right? Okay. Usually in the P&L account, there is this profit here and also expenses over here, for example. So let's say the expenses here, I have a depreciation over here. And let's say there's a depreciation over here. So just now 5,000, for example. So for this depreciation, in the real world, you don't need to do the analysis. Okay, so you go to this non-allowable expenditure and charges to add in here. Okay, as for the some of the expenses that I mentioned just now, all right, like the fire insurance, like the road tax here. Okay, so all these expenses you need to do analysis. All right. And also for the entertainment here, you also need to do the analysis, okay? And then, however, for the entertainment here is not add back fully, sometimes 50%, sometimes 1/3, okay? So the students need to determine themselves how much to add back over here.
Okay, meaning the account analysis is for expenses only.
Yeah, it's actually for expenses, but I don't believe it's all of the expenses. Yeah, only some of the expenses only actually.
Okay.
Yep. So for the students, maybe it's easier for them to directly key in the information here. Don't need to use the analysis account. It's okay. Okay, it's okay. If let's say the lecturer here, they want to test the student whether they know which expenses to add back or not, okay, they can actually directly key in the information here. Okay, they can actually directly key in the information here. Okay, so let's say I delete all of the analysis account here. I delete all of the info here. All right. Okay, so as you can see, I can directly add in over here. Okay, this other expenditure was the expenses from the dividend and also the rental income that need to add back here. Okay, so by default, the system will add back already.
Okay.
All right, so this is for the non-allowable expenditure and the charges over here, which is the add back of the expenses. Okay, and then let's over here for the sum of the mining allowances. Okay, the surplus residual expenditure for mining. All right, this one is for the mining business lah. All right, allowable expenses not entered in P&L. Okay, can key in the information here accordingly. All right, bad debts written off, secondary fees, tax compliance fees, everything here. All right, and then there's a further deductions. Okay, I believe for the further deductions or the double deductions, okay, in the syllabus there, the student need to know, okay, whatever is able to put in as the double deductions here. So in our in our software here, when I click add, okay, there is actually a claim code already built into the software here. Okay, there is actually a claim code built into the software here by our IT team. Okay, all right. So all these expenses listed here with the claim code here. Okay, in the real world, they need to know the claim code here and also the description here. All right, for whatever the double deductions or further deductions here. Okay, so I believe in the student syllabus, okay, this one they need to know. Okay, like for example, let's say the lecturers here, they give you they give these sample questions to the students, all right, and then put in some of the information here, okay, which is like maybe the promotion of export or something over here, okay. So the students need to know which is able to double deduct, okay, or further deduct over here, okay. So in our software, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yep.
For the claim code for double deduction, this code comes from the LSTN.
This code come from the IRB listing there. Yeah.
Oh, IRB. Okay. How about the normal expenses?
Normal expenses. There is no code for the normal expenses. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Only for the further deductions or double deductions over here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Right. No problem. Okay. So all these over here, like for example, okay, let me show you one example here for the audit expenditure. Okay. So for the audit expenditure in the real world practice, all right, this audit expenditure need to add back first. Okay, need to add back first and then the further deduct it over here. Okay, this is the audit expenditure over here. So I believe this audit expenditure is not in the syllabus here for the further or double deductions. Yeah, so this one is in the real world practice one. Okay, and then some of the claim code one, the most recent one is the claim code 167 for the deduction of renovation cost, maximum amount of 300,000 over here. All right. So these are all of the further deductions or double deductions here. Let's say for the audit expenditure, I add in over here to show you the business income schedule at the end over here. All right. I key in some of the information here to show you the business income schedule over here. All right. So once I key in all of the information here, you see the system will automatically calculate the adjusted income or adjusted loss for me over here. All right. So no calculation is actually needed over here. All right. So I just need to key in all this information here. The calculation will be done automatically by the software here already. All right. Let's go to the section JK here. Okay. Computation of statutory income. All right. There's a balancing charges and capital allowance absorbed here. So this one, it will show the information here once I put in the capital allowance information over here. Okay, once I put in the capital allowance information here, as for the balance of capital allowance, as I mentioned just now, all right, for example, this adjustment of losses, this one I already started the business in 2020. Okay, so now it's tax year 2022. So let's say last year, okay, 2021, there is a balance of capital allowance brought forward to this year. I need to key in the balance brought forward over here first. Okay, I need to key in the balance brought forward over here first. All right, let's say I put in the 30,000 over here, okay, from last year until to this year. Same thing for this one, you only need to do it for the first time that you key in for the tax year over here. Okay, let's say the first time you create this file is tax year 2022. When you click here, create 2023 tax file, all this capital allowance will automatically brought forward to the next year for you. Okay, any of the balance of the capital allowance this year, okay, is if not absorbed, the system will automatically brought forward to the next year here. Okay, so that's why this would be a very good assignment project actually, instead of examination wise. Yeah. All right. So once I key in all this information here, I click save again, and then I generate the business income schedule over here. Okay, when I click here, business income schedule, preview. All right, so this will be the business income schedule generated automatically based on all of the information that I key into the software just now. All right, so balance as per P&L account. All right, just key in the balance here just now, the first one, section A, ABC over there. Dividend income, rental income, interest income that I key in here. All right, interest restriction over here. Okay, interest restriction over here. So it will put in for you automatically non-allowable expenses and charges. All right, this is the add back of the expenses that I showed just now. Further or double deductions over here. Okay, and then the balancing charges, capital allowance absorbed over here. Okay, as you can see, the system will calculate the unabsorbed capital allowance carry forward for you. Okay, the system will automatically calculate the capital allowance unabsorbed for you. All right. If it is not absorbed this year, okay, if there's a statutory business, if there's an adjusted business income, okay, for this year, the system will automatically absorb the capital allowance and also automatically absorb the unabsorbed losses carry forward here. Okay, so in education, I believe the student need to know when to deduct this capital allowance and when to deduct these unabsorbed losses carry forward here. All right, so it is all automatic in the software here already. That's why for the real world practice, we don't need to like determine. Okay, in the software here, in the software here, okay, in the software here, don't need to determine when to deduct this. Okay, it is all set automatically already over here. Okay, based on the requirement of the IRB already. All right, based on the requirement of the IRB there already. Okay, so this is the unabsorbed losses and also unabsorbed capital allowance carry forward here. I believe in the education wise, okay, these two things the student need to know when to deduct this, either under adjusted business income, all right, or under this how to say, under this statutory business income. Okay, so this one is for the business income schedule over here. All right, so this is the first part of the sources of income for the business over here already. All right, and then okay, and then there is an incentive over here. All right, like the Schedule 7A allowance, increased export allowance, pioneer status, and everything here, for example. Okay, so for this one here, all right, the student needs to know, like, for example, the pioneer status, whether 70% of statutory income or 100% of adjusted income or something like this, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so for the I go to the personal info here, I go back to the business here. For the business code, I can take here for the incentive actually. Okay, for the reinvestment allowance will be the Schedule 7A allowance for the pioneer status here, for the IEA over here as well. Okay, let's say for pioneer status, I key in the agreement date over here. All right, so let's say for example, the lecturer here, they give a student here. All right, so this company has a pioneer status. Okay, so from which date to which date, all I need to do is just key in the date over here, click save here. All right, I go back to the business here. I go back to the incentive here. There is a pioneer status here. I can select here, and then I can select here whether it's 100% adjusted income, 100% statutory income, 70% or 85% over here. Okay, so when I select here 70%, the system will automatically calculate for me the 70% of statutory income and also the 30% of statutory income for the taxable and the tax exempted one over here already. All right, so as I mentioned, most of the things here are actually automated. Okay, most of the things here are actually automated. All right, so maybe for this one, maybe if we can allow the students to see, okay, what are the conditions here? All right, so for the given conditions, okay, which one is applicable to the clients over here? For example, this client themselves. All right, so this one is for the statutory income over here. All right, so if there's a pioneer losses, you can key in the pioneer losses over here. All right, and then it will calculate the information for you as well. Okay, so this is for the business sources of income business over here. Okay, any questions for this part here? Yep. All right, if there's any questions, maybe you guys can, lecturers here can unmute yourself and ask the question, or the lecturers here can type in to the chat box here. I will reply accordingly as well. Okay, next one here for the employment income. Okay, for the employment income here, so it will show the employment name here. So all I need to do here, okay, all the students need to do here is key in the gross salary, remuneration, wages, leave pay, everything just key in here accordingly will do. All right, everything just key in here accordingly. For the benefit in kind, compensation for loss of employment, everything over here, just key in accordingly will do. Okay, I click save here, for example, and then the computation will be automatically done for me already. Okay, so the computation will be automatically done. All right, the statutory employment income over here. All right, like for example, for the benefit in kind for the value of motor car and petrol. Okay, so when I click add, all right, what is the vehicle number? Okay, so cost of the vehicle, right, and the manufacturer year. Okay, so the system will automatically decide the prescribed benefit of vehicle and also prescribed benefit of petrol over here already. All right, let's say I put in 2003. Okay, let's say I put in 2003, more than 5 years, for example, 2022, 2017, for example. All right, it's still 1002. Let's say 2016. Right, after 5 years, the prescribed benefit of the motor vehicle system will automatically decide that it is 50% already. Okay, so system will automatically decide that it is 50% already. All right. For the education wise, the student need to decide. Okay, so for the prescribed value, given this much, okay, let's say the manufacturer here is 2020. Okay, whether it is 1002 or 600 over here. All right. So in our software, doesn't need to decide this anymore. Just key in the information accordingly. All of the prescribed value here will be calculated automatically over here. All right. Once click save, all right, we'll do already. That's all. Okay. And then same thing like the computation will be included for you already over here. All right. This computation of statutory employment income here. Okay. So this is for the sources of income over here. Next one, we go to the deductions here. Okay. For the deductions here. All right. So in the education wise, for the donation, okay, for the donation, we have all of the categories of the donation here. Okay, so of course, the students here need to decide, given the categories, okay, which one should key in over here. All right, but in our software, you don't need to worry about this 10% of aggregate income over here. All right, don't need to worry about this 10% of aggregate income over here. Let's say, for example, I donated a gift of money to approved institution over here. All right, so let's say donation, for example, I put in 200,000 here, for example, I click update. Okay, so for this one, I don't need to worry about the 10% of aggregate income at all. Okay, in education wise, the student need to decide, okay, how much is the amount after the 10% of aggregate income. They need to calculate the aggregate income first, and then they need to decide, okay, how much is the donations amount over here for the 10% of aggregate income. Okay, as you see here, in the software here, all I need to do is key in whatever the amount this person donated, okay, which is me, for example. Okay, let's say I donated 200,000 here. I just key in 200,000 over here. Later, when I generate the tax computation, the system will automatically restrict to a 10% for the deductions only. All right, so this is for the donations over here. So for donations here, just key in the information here accordingly. Next one, other expenditure. Okay, we have qualifying prospecting expenditure, schedule 4, and also the qualifying farm expenditure over here. All right, so this is for the qualifying expenditure here. Next one, relief here. Okay, so next one is the relief here. So actually, because I have attended how to say accounting course before, so actually I have known a little bit of all these education wise thing here. So for the relief over here, all right, for the relief here, the students need to know that how much is for the individual relief, how much is for the disabled relief, all right, how much is for all this relief here for the maximum amount that are claimable here. Okay, in our software, it is already designed that according to the IB ruling, okay, what are the maximum amount for all these categories over here. Okay, so in the software here, all the students need to do just key in whatever the amount here. Okay, just key in whatever the amount given here. Okay, let's say this. Let's say we have a sample here, lah. All right, still the sample here. Okay, medical for parents. Let's say 10,000. All right. So as you can see, the item number 1, individual and dependent relatives, okay, which is the self-relief. Okay, this is a self-relief here. It is defaulted 9,000 already for each of the individual here. Okay, so in our system, you don't even need to do the hassle to key in the information here. All right, you don't even need to key in the information. The system automatically put in the 9,000 for you already. Okay, for item number 2, medical treatment for parents. Okay, so for example here, medical treatment for parents, 10,000. I click the 3 dot button at the end here. All right, so I key in the description over here. Okay, so in the real world, I think in the real world need to put in the receipt number and also the hospital name here, for example. All right, so for example, receipt number. All right, and then which hospital here. Okay, put in the amount here, 1,000 for example. Click update. All right, as you can see, I put in 10,000 here. Based on the IRB ruling. Okay, based on the public ruling here, it is limited to it is a maximum amount of 8,000 only. Our system here automatically restricted to 8,000 for you already. Okay, it is automatically restricted to 8,000. Let's say for basic supporting equipment, I click the 3 dot button here. Okay, so receipt number here. All right, just key in the receipt number. What is the amount here? Let's say I put in 4,000. All right, click update. So I put in 4,000 here. If didn't exceed the 6,000, it will recognize the amount fully over here. Okay, so this is the function in our software here to actually aid the tax agent in the real corporate world, all right, to do all these here easily. Okay, so for the disabled individual, okay, so I cannot key in any information, all right, but if let's say I go to the personal info here, I take this person as a disabled person, I take save, and then I go back to the relief here, the system will automatically recognize the 6,000 relief for me over here. Okay, so I don't need to do anything. I just need to take it. I don't even need to remember what is the amount here. The system already have the amount already. All right, so this is for the disabled individual here. So for the education for self, medical expenses for self, all right, all this information, you go to the 3 dot button here, you key in all of this information accordingly. Okay, for example, all right, for example, like maybe the lecturers here can actually design all these individual relief, okay, to the students here, okay, and then they just put in all this information here and then to calculate, okay, what is the final total relief arriving based on all these relief that you given to the students here. Okay, because in our software here, it is all restricted automatically already. Okay, the students don't even need to remember, okay, don't even need to remember how much is it. The system will automatically restrict it automatically. Okay, number 8 to 14, lifestyle expenses, like for example, purchase of the personal computer. All right, I key in over here 9B here. All right, I key in over here number 3. All right, so I purchase a Acer PC, for example. Okay, so receipt number, and then put in the amount here, let's say 3,000. All right, click update. So maximum is 2,005 only. The system will restrict to 2,005 here only. All right. Childcare, net deposit, all of these categories of the personal relief will be over here. Wife, payment of alimony to former wife as well. All right, whether you have a disabled husband or wife, disabled spouse. All right, if yes, the system will automatically recognize the disabled relief for the husband or wife over here as well. Okay, basically already automated. Number 15 here, okay, for the child info. All right, for the child info here, for example, let's say I have the child information over here. All right, so I have the first child here studying overseas, spending 18,000 for the year. All right, over here at the right hand side, I need to key in the child info over here. Click add here. All right, so I add in the child name. All right, by age or by date. All right, let's say by age. So this one is 204. So this year already 20, for example. All right, whether studying or not. If study, take care. If it's a disabled child, take care. All right. So local U or overseas U. Let's say overseas U. All right. So just now my example there, Melbourne University, for example. All right. Contributed amount. All right, 18,000. Relief percentage will be the share of the custody lah. Okay, will be the share of the custody over here. And then let's say I click save here. All right, I close it here. You see, I didn't key in any information for the relief here. When I close it, one moment. Click save, close it. This one didn't have the relief. All right, let's say I add in another one. All right, by age, let's say this one is 213, 11 years old. Studying, okay, school name here. All right, and then click save over here. All right, then close it. So once I put in the information here already, okay, at the child info, the system, all right, will automatically recognize what are the relief for you already. Okay, the student doesn't even need to decide, okay, how much is the relief over here. Okay, the students only need to key in the information into the child info here. When I close it, the system will automatically recognize the child relief for me already. Okay, this one here is in our software. All right, as I mentioned, okay, it is really not so suitable for exam wise, yeah, because of all this automation in the software here already. Okay, and then number 16 to 21 for the life insurance, PRS, EPF, SOCSO, everything, same thing, just click the 3-dot button here and then key in the information accordingly. Once everything is keyed in, you can generate the computation over here. All right, so this is the computation over here. Okay, so the self-relief automatically recognized, okay, already put in for you. Medical treatment for parents, all right, key in 10,000 over here. Okay, by the IRB ruling, it is 8,000 only. So the system will recognize maximum 8,000 only. Okay, disabled individual, if I take here disabled, so it will recognize the disabled relief for me, and then it will total up the relief for me as well. As you can see, there is no calculation needed at all to do over here. All right, no calculation needed to do at all over here. Okay, next one here, departure levy. All right, for departure levy for our Muslim friends here, okay, they have the Umrah travel and religious travel every year. Can key in the information over here. All right, just put in the information here, then the system will recognize the related information for you. All right, let's say I just key in over here. All right, travel. All right, ASEAN country, economy class. All right, so what is the amount over here? Okay, so just click update here. All right, and then next one here, capital allowance over here. Okay, for capital allowance, for example, like the partnership and also for the sole prop and also the Sendirian Berhad here, okay, for the capital allowance here. Okay, select it over here. Okay, for the capital allowance here, all right, let me add an example here. I click add here. All right, so let's say this person here, taxpayer here, to purchase a Toyota Camry. All right, purchase a Toyota Camry here. All right, over here what I key in sorry, Honda City. Okay, so let's say I key in Honda City. Okay, so I select the asset group here. Okay, motor vehicle, for example. And then the allowance classes here, okay, which is to decide what is the IA rate and AA rate here. Click in here. Over here, you can see that all these allowance indexes already key in to the software here already. For example, motor vehicle, general here, it already decided the IA and the AA rate is 20% and 20% over here. Okay, the students don't even need to remember what is the IA rate and AA rate here. Okay, however, in the real life practice, okay, the IA rate and AA rate will be changed according to the useful year. All right, so let's say, for example, here I select motor vehicle general, select. So I select here motor vehicle private, new or user. Okay, let's say I select new, I click save here. All right. So for here, for the financing method, okay, hire purchase, for example. Okay. If it's a control transfer, okay, I just take it over here. So for the control transfer, when I tick here, the system will not calculate the AA for me already. Okay, the system will not calculate the the IA for me. Okay, the system will not calculate the IA for me if let's say I take here control transfer. All right. So if I want to calculate it year to year, I just take it over here. Then the system will automatically do the adjustment already. All right. So let's go to the original cost here. All right. Let's say I put in 120,000. Okay. I put in 120,000 over here. The system will automatically restricted to the qualifying amount to 100,000 only, because as according to the IRB ruling here, okay, this motor vehicle for the new purchase of the motor vehicle is either 100,000 or 50,000 over here based on the original cost here. All right. So let's say original cost exceeded 150,000, I think 180,000 over here. As you can see, our system will automatically restrict to a qualifying amount of the 50,000 here for you already. All right. So you in the real world practice, okay, in the real world practice, if let's say the tax agent here didn't use our software, all right, where they calculate their capital allowance using the Excel file, okay, after a few years they claim for the Excel file here for the capital allowance, they will need to calculate it back for the past few years, okay, and then they need to check and see whether they have exceeded this 50,000 over here or not. All right, or the 100,000 over here. Let's say I put in 120,000. Okay, so in our software, all right, once it reached the 100,000 threshold for the capital allowance claiming, once it reached the 100,000 threshold, the system will not calculate any more capital allowance for you once it reached the threshold over here. Okay, so as I mentioned, it is basically automated already in our software. All right, so all you need to do here, you put in the information here for the motor vehicle as according to your hire purchase agreement. Okay, in the real world, it is according to the hire purchase agreement here. All right, just key in the information here accordingly. All right, who is the financier? All right, for example, the Maybank. Okay, and then what is the monthly installment for this, final installment for this, and the total number of installment over here. Okay, so for the total number of installments over here, and then click save here. All right, this is how you can add in the information over here into our software here. Okay, so this is how you add in the information for the asset here. All right, so for the students, for the UUM here, I would suggest to add in directly using the software. Do not import the Excel file into our software here, because for the Excel file, import is very easy. Just import the information into it, and then all of the asset here will reflect into the software already. Okay, maybe for the assignment wise, just let the student to add in here directly will do. Okay, just select the asset here. All right, what is the allowance classes? All right, for plant and machinery, special plant here. Okay, as you can see, we have an industrial building and also the agriculture capital allowance over here. Okay, for industrial building, there are some of the special one for the industrial building. For agriculture one, there will be an agriculture one over here as well. Okay, so this is a plant and machinery. So for plant and machinery will be the more common one in the real corporate world over here. All right, so this is how you add in the information here. Okay, so let me import a little bit information here, okay, to show you more function here for the software. All right, one moment, yeah. So I import it here. Okay, so for the import function, let me show the lecturers here. So how does the import function here works? Okay, let's say I have this Excel file. So in the real world, real practice world, the tax agent, they need to generate this Excel file here to calculate all these CA. All right. So after generating it, they need to put in the indicator here to import it into our software. So then I can import it into the software here already for this information. All right. So for example, I want to dispose an asset here. Okay, for example, I want to dispose an asset here. I select this Dell PC here. I click disposal. Okay. If it's a control transfer, take here. If it's write off fully, take here. If it's a partial disposal, take it over here. Put in the cost QE amount and also the ID amount here. Okay, and then for the disposal amount, let's say I put in 1,000 as a disposal amount here. Take save. The system here, our software here will automatically calculate the the balancing charges and balancing allowance already. All right, so let me show you here for the disposal schedule. All right, the system will automatically calculate the balancing charges and balancing allowance already. Okay, so in the education wise, all right, the students need to know how the balancing charges and balancing allowance calculation here. In our software, once you key in all this information, it will automatically calculate it for you already. Okay, so for the motor vehicle that I add in just now, for the hire purchase, all right, every year they will need to for the hire purchase need to pay hire purchase payment, of course. All right, so click here to key in the hire purchase payment. Click add here. This is for year 2022, for example. Okay, so what is the principal amount paid for the year, the interest amount paid for the year, all right, and the deposit amount for first year only, and then the number of installment for the year over here. All right, and then close it here. Okay, so for the capital allowance part, all right, maybe the lecturer here can design some of the questions here using this capital allowance over here as well. To key in the hire purchase payment here, you can check whether the students here, they key in the correct amount over here and also the correct number of installments here or not. Okay, so after that, once key in already, okay, hire purchase schedule. All right, so all this is the hire purchase information, and then below here will be the payment information. Once I key in the payment information, right, the system will automatically calculate the qualifying expenditure already. Okay, so for the education wise, the student need to determine, okay, how much is the qualifying expenditure in our software here. Once I key in this payment information, the system will automatically show the qualifying expenditure over here already. All right, so this is how our software here works for the capital allowance over here. Okay, and then for this hire purchase payment, every year need to key in. Okay, every year need to key in. Let's say go to year 2023 already. So for year 2023, need to key in the hire purchase payment for year 2023 as well. Okay, so this is for the hire purchase schedule here. All right, and let's say, all right, and let's say I click here disposal. Okay, for the new asset, for the new motor vehicle I just now, I click here disposal. Disposal less than 2 years, system will automatically claw back here. All right, system will automatically claw back here. If under any circumstances, okay, in the real world there are some circumstances, the asset disposed doesn't need to be clawed back for less than 2 years one. All right, so can untake here. Okay, so maybe the lecturers here can design the questions. All right, using this. All right. Okay, like under these circumstances, whether the asset here need to be clawed back or not. Okay, so in our system here, by default, it will take the clawback here. Okay, if let's say your disposal less than 2 years. Okay, so this is for the
Ben.
Yep.
Mr. Ben, sorry. For the para 71, disposal within 2 years, does the system automatically calculate the duration, or we have to decide by ticking the clawback?
Okay, the duration is actually based on the date of purchase. All right, so at first here, when I key in the asset here, I have a date of purchase over here. So I key in the date of purchase here. So this is a tax year 2022, right? As you can see, this is 1st January 2022. Okay. You don't need to decide, okay, whether it will claw back. So you see when I dispose the Dell PC, you see the purchase date is 2004 here. When I click disposal, it won't show the clawback over here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it won't show the clawback over here. For the less than 2 years one, for example, this 2022, when I click disposal, the system will show here.
Oh, okay.
But it will take by default. It will take here by default. So under any special circumstances, okay, where this asset don't need to claw back, then the students maybe need to untake here. Yeah, so maybe can based on this here can design some of the questions like this. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
no problem. So this is for the clawback over here. So actually the student doesn't need to know when it will show the clawback. So when the duration less than 2 years here, the system will automatically show. Yeah, that is how it works in our software here. Yeah. All right. So let's say, for example, once all of this information here already key in, and then you can generate the capital allowance schedule here from our software already. Okay. So all this information I import from the Excel file. Okay. Can add into the software here one by one as well. No problem. Okay. The Honda City is the one that I added in just now. And then let's say the Dell PC already be disposed. Okay. The original cost will be removed. Okay. And then the RE and the capital allowance will be removed for the year as well. Okay. So this is for the capital allowance schedule over here. The system will calculate the capital allowance over here for you already. All right. Let's go back to the business here. Let's go back to the JK here. As you can see, once I add in the capital allowance information just now, the balancing charges here and the capital allowance absorbed here, all right, it is updated accordingly already. Okay, so it is actually updated accordingly already. One moment, let me do something here. All right, generate the business income schedule again. Okay, so below here, you can see that just now here is empty. Now, when you put in the CA information, the capital allowance information, this one already put in for you. And then same thing, if there is an income this year, the system will automatically absorb the capital allowance really. Okay, don't even need to know where to put in over here. All right, so this is for the capital allowance over here. Next one, section 132.133. Okay, so this one is a section 132.133. In the real corporate world, this one is not so common. Yeah. All right. So in the real corporate world, this one is not so common. So same thing, just key in the information here. What is the income type? The system will automatically calculate all this information for you here already. Yep. All right. Next one here, incentive claim. Okay, so any of the incentive claim under paragraph 127 bracket 3. This one are also not so common one over here as well. Okay, tax payable and payments. All right, tax payable and payments will be for the tax payment made by the taxpayers here for the self-installment, for employer deduction. All right, for previous year or for the other payment. Okay, so for the self-installment. All right, some they have self-installment. All right, add in the information here, employer deduction, add in. All right, select the employer here, or receipt number, SCD amount, CP38 amount, or the zakat amount over here, and then just click update. Okay, for self-installment, just add in here CP500, 503 amount, zakat amount here, and then. Okay, all these over here are actually the real practice one. Okay, can key in the information. Next one for others, preceding year's income not declared. Okay, so for preceding year's income not declared, just add in the information here. Okay, type of income for which year paid, for year for which paid. All right, gross amount and the fund contribution over here. Okay, and then click save. Disposal of shares in RPC. Okay, yes or no here. All right, particular of the administrator of the deceased person estate. Okay, tax administrator of the deceased person. Okay, put in the administrator name. Okay, and then for the financial particulars here. All right, for this financial particular here, this one is actually to show the information in the form. All right, for example, over here is the form B. Okay, this is to show the information in the form B because this information is required to declare in the form B. So just key in the information here as according to the P&L balance sheet and also the P&L over here. Okay, just key in all this information here. For example, like the expenses, once I key in the amount here for the expenses here. Okay, so maybe can break it down over here as well. All right, so the lecturer maybe can set some questions here as well. So like the expenses for the loan interest, all right, maybe that you given them a set of this sample here for the set of expenses here. All right, So in which category they are, they can put in a breakdown over here themselves. Okay, they can put in a breakdown over here. All right, or they can either put in the total amount over here. Okay, in the real world practice, it's not necessary to break it down. So if let's say the lecturer wants the students here to break down, all right, they can click the three dot button here, add in the breakdown over here. Okay, and then once you put in the expenses here, if didn't put in the total expenses, this will be negative here in other expenses. Okay, this will be negative here in the other expenses here. All right, for the balance sheet, same thing. Once you put in the asset here, let's say 20,000. All right, so here 10,000. So it will show negative if you didn't put a total fixed asset. Let's say I put in 50,000 here. The system will automatically calculate the other fixed asset here. All right. The system will automatically calculate this other fixed asset over here. Okay, so this is for the financial statement. Then I can generate the financial statement here. All right, one moment. I haven't saved the information here. I click save. All right, so I can generate the financial statement over here. Okay, I didn't key in all of the information, so it will be a very short one only. All right, so this is for the financial statement over here. Maybe can set some of the questions over here at the financial particular over here as well. All right, and then over here for the exam account. All right, tax exam account income sources are outside Malaysia, received in Malaysia over here. All right, can add in the information here. Okay, so students can add in the information here. However, the calculation will be done automatically as well. Okay, next one, payslip. Okay, for the payslip here is actually for the Form E purpose. Okay, for the Form E purpose. All right, if let's say for the Form E for the personal info here, I go to the Form E. All right, I have add in a staff A over here, right? Okay, I can go to the payslip over here to key in the payslip info. All right, and then I select the employer's name here. Okay, and then I can key in the information here accordingly. All right, you can do it by monthly or by annually here. Let's say annually, I go to the annual section here. All right, I just key in the information here. What is the salary received by the employees here? Travel allowance, for example. And then any deductions here, just key in the deductions over here accordingly. All right, so as you can see the travel allowance here, okay, I key in 8,000 just now. So the 6,000 is non-taxable according to IRB ruling. The system will separate out the 6,000 as non-taxable here, and then the taxable 2,000 over here. All right, so click save here. All right, and then after that, when we go to the report here, okay, so I generate the Form E here. So in our software here, all of the information you key in, it will put in the information for you already. Okay, so whatever you key into our system, the software, okay, will automatically put in all this information for you already. Okay, so including the CP 8D information, which is needed to submit in the real world. All right, all this automatically generated. Okay, and then for Form B, for example. Okay, same for the Form B. All of the information I key in earlier on, all right, all will be filled up into this Form B already. Okay, all will be filled up into this Form B here already. Okay, and then we go to the working sheets here. All right, we go to the working sheets here. Most of the things here I've shown the lecturers just now, except for this tax computation. All right, so I click here, tax computation preview. All right, so you can see the business income here, employment income, rental income, interest income, aggregate income over here. And then you can see here the donation, I key in 200,000 there just now. There is a 10% of restriction according to the aggregate income. Okay, the system will automatically restrict to 127,000 over here for me already. Okay, and then arriving to the total income here, after reducing the relief, all right, how much is the chargeable income? And then for the chargeable income here, the tax on the first 1 million here, okay, it will be this amount. And then for the remaining 105,246, it will be at 28% here. The system will do the calculation for you automatically already. Okay, so in the exam wise, the student need to decide, okay, how much is the tax rate here? Okay, for the first 1 million or for the first 500,000 is how much? Okay, they will need to decide here in our software. It is all automatically already. It is based on the tax year here already. Okay, it's based on the tax year here. Okay, so departure levy and then the tax payable, all right, balance of tax payable or tax paid in excess, it will be automatically calculated as well. Okay, so this is how our software here works. All right, so because our software here is designed for the real world, okay, for the real corporate world here to do all the tax submission, okay, for the tax agent to easily submit the tax submission here. So that's why most of the things here are already automated. Okay, so for some of the things here, as I mentioned to the lecturers specifically, okay, maybe some of the questions can design it that way for the students. All right. However, for the calculation wise, definitely it is all automated in the software here already, basically. Yeah. All right. So this is for the Form B. Okay, and then go back to the working sheets here. All right, go back to the working sheets here. Can the lecturer actually can generate all the report here? Okay, based on whatever key in by the students. All right, can actually generate the whole complete report over here. All right, just take this, include cover and table of contents will do. Okay, just take this and click print. It will generate a full report for you here. Okay, this one maybe can add in the UUM logo lah, for example. Okay, UUM logo, and then put in UUM name over here, and then all this information already included over here. The lecturer can generate this out and then do the marking for the students lah. Okay, so this is the report over here. So all of the report can be included over here. Okay, all this report can be included here. All right, whatever the lecturer don't want to mark, okay, I can untick over here, no problem. Okay, so by default, it will take everything here. Just take this, include cover table of contents, it will generate the whole report for you already. Yeah. All right, so this one is for the working sheets over here. For the e-filing, okay, the e-filing is already disabled. Okay, the e-filing is disabled for UUM because this e-filing here is for the tax agent in the corporate world to submit the tax information. Okay, it's already disabled there. And also the attachment, I believe is, I'm not sure whether it's disabled. I think it's not disabled for you all. Okay, actually doesn't need to utilize this attachment over here. All right, just leave it be. Okay, just leave it be here. All right, so on top here, okay, is how to key in the information for the personal tax over here. Okay, any questions for this personal tax over here?
Mr. Ben?
Yep.
Okay, about the financial statements just now. So is it like we key in the particulars above first, and then only we key in for the income statement or whatsoever statement?
Actually, either way will do. Can just key in the information here because some of the information is linked. Like for example, the non-allowable expenses, it will be linked for you automatically here. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Like I go back here, the business, this one, FGH here, this non-allowable expenditure and charges. Okay. So this is automatically linked for you already over here for the financial particular. Yep. All right. And then yeah, some of the information will link some of the information here. So it's either way. Okay. Because this one can test the students whether they understand the P&L and also the balance sheet here. All right. And then in the real world, this section is only to declare the information in the Form B. Okay, like for example, this is the personal tax. This is to show the information into Form B only. Yeah. All right. So maybe the lecturer here can test the student whether they understand the P&L information over here. Okay, no problem.
Because normally when we provide questions, we give them the income statement.
Yeah, understood. I understood. Yeah, the in education wise, the full income statement there is already provided. Yeah. So It's up to the lecturer whether you want to utilize all these here. Okay, so it's up to the lecturer here. Okay, so maybe the lecturer here can have a discussion within yourself here. All right, to decide okay what type of a question to set it over here, to set them over here, and then whether to use this in the assignment wise or the exam wise. For the exam wise, it's really very less thing here to test the students basically. Okay, because mostly everything here is already automated as what I have shown you just now. I just key in all this information here. All right. I just key in all this information here, and then all the report, all the calculations will be all automatically generated out already. Yep.
Yeah, that's why we use this software actually in their assignment.
Yeah, understood. Okay, so yeah, maybe the lecturers here can design for the assignment here to see whether the students know how to use the software or not. Yep.
Actually, if let's say actually you all decide not to use the financial particulars, right? Then you can disable the features because the financial particulars over here, right? Whatever you key in, it won't affect the tax calculation.
Yes.
Yeah, as mentioned by Rachel, if there is don't want to use it, maybe can go to the user profile here. Okay, Dr. IIT has the admin ID lah. Only the admin can change here. Go to the students here. All right, click the privilege settings. Okay, so this e-filing already disabled. So already disabled here. When I take the e-filing here, the student when they log in, they cannot click anything at the e-filing already. Okay, and then for these others here, for the financial particular, if want to disable it, can disable it actually. Okay, so when I disable already, cannot key in any information here. All right, so only need to do it for the students. Okay, because only student will have need to do key in all this information here. All right, so I believe the e-filing, as mentioned by Steven to me, is already disabled. All right, and then the financial particular. All right, if the lecturer feel that it is not necessary, all right, for the students who use it, okay, can disable it as well, no problem. Okay, just go to the user profile here, select the student one, go to the privilege settings. Okay, just take the ones that you want to disable here. That's all. Yeah. Right.
Another question, because we like say this semester we have 10 classes of tax 1 which cover the form B and form BE. So under one admin like UUM, so is it all list of the project will list? I mean, when they want to search, let's say we have hundreds students. So it created hundreds files. So everybody can see all that hundreds, like 500 or how many hundreds files there?
Okay. Let's do it this way. Okay, let's do it this way. All right. You tell the students here. All right. The lecturer here can add in an identifier at the settings here. There's this identifier. One moment. Lecturers here. There's this identifier. All right. Can add in a lecturer short name over here. All right.
Okay.
So yeah, let's say my name here, Yan Chaobi just now.
Okay.
Okay. I click update here. One moment. I already have this one. Okay. Let's say the student when they create this text file. They can select the identifier here. You tell the student to select the lecturer. All right, you tell the student to select the lecturer's name here. Okay, so for the lecturers here, for your easy reference, okay, for the lecturer's easy reference, I select here YSB, for example, I click save. Okay, so when the lecturers here, they want to search the project under their students, you go to the identifier here, you search, you select your name here, all right, and then you click search. It will show you all of the project under your name over here. Yeah, okay. It will show you all of the project under your name here. Okay, and then for the text here, or this one doesn't have the text here because it's for the personal text here. So you can select all under your name here. Yeah, so maybe the identifier here, all right, you can add in the short name over here, and then you ask the student to add in the name over here. So maybe you can tell the student if I didn't search your the name here, so maybe you didn't pass up the the assignment over here. Yeah. All right. So can filter it this way, no problem.
One more question. About year of assessment. Normally, when is your software ready for that particular year of assessment? Like now we are using YA 2023. So
yeah.
we will teach 2024. So
okay, for the personal tax, all right, for personal tax, year 2023, it is just released only. All right, every year, early of the year, it will release the information for the latest personal tax, which is the year 2023 one. Okay, for the company one, 2024 will be released as well. For the information for 2024, it will be released this year. It will be somewhere around March.
Oh, for company.
Yeah, for company, it will be somewhere around March. For the personal one, it will be somewhere around January or February, early February or end of January here. Yeah, this one has already released. Okay, that's why I can create for tax year 2023 already for personal. For company, also until 2023 for now. For 2024, it will have to wait after the March, somewhere around early April or end of the March here. Okay, or middle March or end of the March here, somewhere there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that is for the personal tax here. All right. Let me show a little bit of the partnership tax. Okay, let's say I already created the partnership tax. So whenever you create the new thing here, they need to key in the information. Like for example, just now I say the students here, they need to put in their name and then add in the partnership behind. Okay, add in the partnership behind. That's all. So easier for lecturer to mark, easier for lecturer to see actually. Okay, put in the information here. And then the partnership here, the differences here will be the partnership, the partnership member. Okay, so let me show you there are some linkage here. All right, let me show you there are some linkage here. Let me delete all of the information here first. Yeah. Okay, so for partnership, all right, basis of apportionment. Okay, basis of apportionment. If the whole year for the whole basis period, okay, there is no changes of the partnership structure. Okay, then can add in one date here. All right, from 1st of January until 31st December, for example. Okay, if there is a new partners coming in, let's say in the 1st of August, okay, 1st of August 2022, there's a new partner coming in. I double click the information here. I put this date from 1st of January until 31st July here. All right, and then I click add from 1st October until the end of the year. I click update. I put in 2 dates here. For the members, okay, members will be the partners. This one is partnership. Okay, so for the students, right? Okay, for the students, okay, actually in our software, the partnership here will link to the personal. All right, let's say I select here, I select this yen over here, for example. All right. All right, let's say I select here banner. Okay, I select ban here. All right, I click update. This one is already created at the personal tax. Okay, you can search it from the system. Okay, let's say I add in another person here. All right, and then if the partners here is not in the system, okay, let's say the lecturers here, they give the student the questions. All right, and then the partners here is not the spouse, it's another person, so can add in the another person information here, for example. All right, so let's say this ABC person, click update. Okay, below here, there are the share of the members. So for the first basis period, for 1st of July, 1st of January until 31st July. So for the share of the members, how will be the members look like? I click add here. So let's say ban 50%. Click add, Chung another 50%, for example. This is before the new partners coming in. 1st of August, there is a new partners coming in. Okay, 1st of August here, there's a new partner coming in. I click add here. So let's say ban reduced to 40% here. All right, and then Chung here reduced to another 40% also. And then the new person, ABC person here is another 20%. Okay, total up 100% here. Okay, so this is the basis period over here. And then, okay, you click this save over here. All right. So same thing, you key in the business information here accordingly, like how I showed you just now at the personal tax. All right. So what are the differences here? The differences here will be for the form P only. All right, for the form P only. Okay, it will generate the form P for you. Another differences here, the business here. Okay, so for example, in the real world, okay, in the real world is that because there's a new partners coming in, all right. Let's say for the first period is earning money, for example. Okay, for the first period is earning money. Okay, and then the second period here from 1st of August until the end of the year here, the business actually losing money. But this new partners here, this ABC person coming in, this partner here doesn't want to bear the income tax because the first period earn money, but he haven't come in. All right, so he don't want to pay the tax. So what can you do here? You can go to the business over here. All right, you can see here there is this have multiple account. Okay, so if let's say that's the case, you can take here have multiple account, and then you click here view multiple account. So for the 1st of January until 31st July, okay, what is the accounts look like? So let's say earning money in the earn money here. All right, so for the second period, all right, if let's say it's losing money, put in negative over here, and then click save here. All right, so this is for the case. Maybe the lecturers here can actually design a question like this. Okay, let's say the client here doesn't want to share the earning. Okay, that where if let's say I didn't take this multiple account, right? This new partner here, ABC person, okay, he will have to pay for whatever they earn, these two person earn during the first period here. Okay, if I didn't take the multiple account here. All right, if I take the multiple account here, I key in what is the first accounts look like, and then the second accounts look like how. All right, then the new person coming in doesn't need to bear the income that they earned the earlier year here. All right, so this is the real world example. Okay, this is a real world example here, and then I can generate the form P over here. All right, so you can generate the form P here. This one is actually for the submission. So maybe for UUM lecturers, this tax computation might be sufficient for you all, or the business income schedule here. Yeah.
And then the divisible income, it will go directly to the partner?
Yeah, the system will automatically calculate the divisible income. All right, so you can see here this 579178 for Ben. When I search for Ben here, okay, because I select Ben as a partner, the system, you see when I go to the business partnership here, when I select this one here just now, all right, 579178, the system automatically put in here already. Yeah, so you see this one is also automated already. Okay. However, there is one thing you can play around here. The lecturer can play around here for the personal info here. You can see here there's this system partnership and non-system partnership. Okay. System partnership meaning that just now I created the information for the partnership in the system. And then I put in all the information there. The system will link it here already.
Okay.
Okay. For the non-system, which means that because in the real world, okay, when the bank here have so many partnership, some of the partnership the tax agent are doing, some of the partnership the tax agent are not doing. Okay, so maybe can add in here, let's say the lecturers maybe you can add in here. So let's say for the partnership here. All right, so this one is another partnership. Okay, can click update here, click save here. Oh, a business code, one moment. Let me add a business code here, click save. Okay, so when I go to the business partnership, you can see here just now this one is linked already. This one is not linked, it's not in the system. All right, so the students need to key in the information here. Okay, so there are two ways here. All right, so if let's say the question is interrelated, is linked, where the student need to key in all the information here. Okay, if let's say the partnership here is not linked, all right, so maybe the lecturer can set the question. All right, so this person here has another partnership. Okay, just a little bit of information you give to the student, so maybe the student can key in the information here. All right, so for this one is linked already, so you see here this is gray color, system automatically put in the information here. All right, so this one is for the partnership just now already.
Ben,
yep,
I'd like to know about the divisible income. Do you have analysis of the account? The divisible?
For the divisible income, one moment, let me show you the business income over here, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, okay, it's there.
Yep,
Thank
it's over
you.
here. The system will automatically calculate already. You see, just now I put in the basis period over here. Yeah. All right. So the basis period here. So it will, based on this basis period, the system will calculate it for you already. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. So you see, just now over here, the ABC person is the negative one. All right. If I go to the business here, I untick the multiple account here. I click save. All right. And then I go back to the working sheet here. I go to the business income. So you see here, the ABC person will need to share the earning from them already. Okay, so this is for the basis period here. So maybe the lecturers here can play around with this information over here. Yeah. All right, so this is the difference of having a multiple account and without the multiple account. Yeah. Okay, so this is for the partnership over here. Next one, company. Okay, company, let me show you a sample real quick. Okay, the company info here. All right, the director here, the differences here will be the director lah. Okay, the director here. So this director can put in, okay, let's say the student is the director lah, for example. Okay, so let's say the student here is the director. All right, and then just click save over here. Okay, so another person can add in manually. All right, can add in manually here. So for the student one, if let's say this student is also a shareholder, take here shareholder, put in the equity shareholding, what is the unit number, unit of shares, save. Okay, so when you add in the director's info here, you take the person as a shareholder as well. When I go to the shareholders here, the system already put in the information automatically. All right, so if it's another person, all right, can add in here. All right, can add in manually here, or if it's a company, all right, can add in manually as well, no problem. All right, so and then the form information. So these are the differences here in the company tax here. All right, one thing here, other expenditure. I'm sorry, before that, business. Okay, business here, there's interest income, for example. One moment, I show you tax here 2022. All right, 2022 for business. Okay, and then as you can see here, the interest, there is a dim interest calculation part over here. Okay, so I click here, dim interest. All right, it will show both of the directors' name here. All right, this ALR rate, okay, this ALR rate here, in our software, it is already built in. Okay, it is already built in here. All right, so the student doesn't need to go to the Bank Negara Malaysia website and search for it. All right, it is already built in over here. So the students, all the student need to do is put in the month-end balance over here. Okay, so in the real world practice, the dim interest income, all right, need to calculate it out, and then need to put in a month-end balance over here, and then based on the ALR rate, average lending rate here, all right, the system will automatically calculate the dim interest income over here already. Okay, so if the amount here didn't put negative, it will be loan to director, LTD. If put in a negative here, it will be loan from director. Okay, so the system will calculate the amount for the loan to director based on the ALR rate over here, and then calculate the dim interest income over here. Yeah. All right, so this is for the dim interest income. Okay, so this is one of the differences here. Another one, other expenditure here. Okay, there is this expenditure allowed under section 60F. Okay, this is for the investment holding company one. All right, I click the three dot button here. All right, I click the three dot button here. As you can see here, okay, in education wise, the students need to know, okay, what to put in for the items of B and what to put in for the items of C. In the software here, these items of B and items of C already automatically calculated. Okay, already automatically calculated. So the students here need to just put in the permitted expenses here. Okay, so maybe the lecturer here can design what are the permitted expenses, and then maybe put in some of the non-permitted expenses here to decide whether the students understand this very well or not. Okay, so can add in over here. All right, we have a list of the description here already. Okay, however, if the description here doesn't have the name that the lecturers want, the student actually can add in themselves as well. No problem. All right, or maybe the lecturer can add in a few more here to maybe to confuse the students. All right, to let them know, oh, how come this one is over here? All right, so this maybe the lecturer can play around over here as well. No problem. Okay.
Ben.
Yep.
About these permitted expenses,
Mhm.
if the student accidentally put a wrong item in the permitted expenses,
Mhm.
will the system push out that?
No, the system will not able to identify whether it is correct or wrong. So yeah.
I see.
Yeah, the
Okay,
system will not be able to identify whether correct or not. So maybe the lecturer here can add in the wrong one over here, which is not the permitted expenses. The lecturer can add in over here to confuse the student. Yeah,
Yeah.
so maybe once they add in here, then you know that they don't understand this thing over here. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so this is for the section 60F deductions lah. Okay, and then this one here is CP204. Okay, this CP204 I believe is not so applicable in the education wise. Okay, because this one is just to I would say to generate the CP204 form only. Yeah. All right. And then maybe for CP204 wise, the student wants to know wants to calculate the tax estimated amount because it will show here. Okay. So you remember the 60,000 here when I generate the working sheets. So here I generate the tax computation here. This tax computation can include the calculation of penalty under section 107C. 107C bracket 10 here. All right, one moment. Let me see. Any other differences here? There is no other differences. One more differences at the donation here. Okay, so there's this business zakat. All right, just now I've shown you the 10% one. So this business zakat, there is actually a 2.5% restriction. Okay, so remember I key in the 50,000 here. All right, and then I generate this tax computation here for the lecturers to see. Okay, can include the section 107C bracket 10 penalty calculation. All right, so this one is more or less the same that I showed the lecturer just now for the tax computation. However, this one is for Sendirian Berhad. Okay, so you see the zakat here. So there's a restriction of 2.5%. I put in 50,000, system automatically restrict to 31,000 over here, just like the one I showed the lecturers just now. All right, and then below here, the tax estimate. So once you put in the amount 60,000 just now, it will show over here. Okay, for the tax rate here. All right, for the tax rate here, in our system, okay, the student doesn't need to remember the tax rate. Okay, it is all based on the tax year over here. Okay, for the tax year 2022, it is 17% for first 600,000. For any amount after that, it will be 24%. For the tax year 2023, the first 150,000 will be 15%. The next 450,000 will be 17%. And then any amount after that will be 24%. Okay, it is all based on the tax year select over here. Okay, so the student cannot key in the information over here. Don't need to memorize the information here. It is all built into the software here already. All right, and then over here, one more thing, there's a tax rebate section 60 over here. Okay, so the company info here. So for the date of commencement operations, okay, for the date of commencement operations here, if let's say less than 2 years, the system will show a tax rebate section 60 over here and then tick by default. Okay, by default, it will tick here. However, I know that there are some criteria here for the section 60. Okay, if let's say the company didn't hit all of the criteria, then can actually untick this tax rebate section 60. Okay, so maybe the lecturer here can play around with this as well. So maybe put in the criteria here and then to test the student whether they know that this one over here for the tax rebate section 60. It will be based on this date of commencement operation. If less than 2 years, okay, less than 2 years, then it will show the section 60 tick by default over here. All right, if not, it won't show at all. If not, it won't show at all. Okay, so working sheets, let's go back here. All right, so you see the system will automatically apportion the income and then calculate based on the tax rate here. The system already do all the calculations. Yeah, so the system already do all the calculations here. Okay, and then the section 107C bracket 10 penalty, all right, the system will also automatically calculate it for the when the student take the calculation there. Yeah. All right, so this is the company tax over here already. Okay, this is the company tax over here already. So that is all about our software here already. Okay, so for the software here, as mentioned, it is better to do it in the assignment way instead of the exam way. So because most of the items here are already automated over here. Okay, so any other questions over here for the our software here?
Ben, can I go back?
Yeah.
I just realized just now on royalty. Royalties we have exemptions, right? So do we need to identify or the system will determine?
Okay, for the royalties, right? I believe here you will need to key in two places. One is over here. Another one will be over here, I believe. Yeah. Another one will be over here. Yep. For the section 132, 133. Yeah.
Is
System will not be able to identify it. Yeah. So for this one, maybe the lecturer here can play around with this as well. Because I myself is not a tax agent. I'm actually under the sales and marketing for this one. During my uni time, I have a little bit of this accounting knowledge, so that's why I understand what is the lecturer looking for over here. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So yeah. So lecturer here. All right. I believe lecturers here have the user ID. Okay. So maybe during the SEM break, okay, the lecturers here can play around with the software here. Okay. Play around the software here yourself, and then after that, all right, maybe the lecturers here having a discussion here how to design all of these questions over here. All right. So I believe the sample here. Maybe I will discuss with Mr. Ng, okay, with Mr. Tim here, okay, to see how this one can design it for the lecturers. I will let the lecturers know about this. I will let Dr. Idawati know about this again. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions before we sign off here? Yep. All right. If no questions, that will be all for the training here today. Thank you very much, all of the lecturers here for your time today. Okay, I understand that it's an exam period here, and then it's already off the working hour already. All right. So thank you very much, everyone, for your time today. Don't worry. Okay. If let's say you need any help, okay, you can contact me. All right. As the UUM here, working on the Sunday as well. All right, on a Sunday to Thursday. All right, our working hour is Monday to Friday. For our support team, okay, for our support team here, you can find our support team contact number at the login screen. Give me a moment. Okay, you can find our support team contact number at the login screen. All right, or maybe can contact Steven directly as well, as Dr. Ayati here has Mr. Steven's number. Okay, for during Monday to Thursday, 9 to 6 p.m. and then our lunchtime 1 to 2 p.m. You can contact our support team directly, no problem. Their contact number can be found at the login screen. Okay, if let's say a lecturer face any issue here, okay, you can maybe contact the support team here. All right. If let's say for Sunday, okay, for Sunday, the lecturers here can actually look for me. All right. My number, it will be over here. Give me a moment. Help about. Okay, can go to help about here. All right, so this is my number here. All right, so lecturers on the Sunday maybe can look for me. However, if let's say I reply late, all right, very sorry, because sometimes I do not have the phone with me. Okay, so for this for the Sunday, lecturer can look for me. All right, if I'm free, I'm having the phone, all right, I will reply the lecturer immediately as well. All right, I will try my best to reply the lecturers over here. Yeah. Okay. So, yep, this is our contact number. And then for the tutorial videos, you can go to the help tutorial, okay, and then Superior Taxcom here. So for the tutorial videos, you can actually refer to the function of our software over here as well. All right. this training is recorded. All right. After I do all the filter over here, I will send the video to the lecturers here. Okay. So in the meantime, if let's say the lecturer here forgot some of the function here, not sure whether we have this or not, whether we have that or not. Okay, the lecturers can refer to the tutorial videos in our tutorial website over here. No problem. Okay. So yep, that will be all for today already. Yeah.
Thank you, Ben.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Ben. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone here. Thank you, Dr. Idawati. Thank you, all of the lecturers here. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to contact me, no problem. Okay, so that will be all for today. Have a nice day today. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye, Ben.
All right, no problem. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Leave with the session, okay?
No problem. You're welcome.